This is kind of just a short little video that I'm putting together for a question that I see get asked a lot, and that I get asked a lot in regards to Balisongs that are like the Szabofly or the Mayhem, or maybe a Balisong that's just not your traditional Balisong with straight handles. Sometimes I get the question, should I get the Szabofly and just learn to flip with it and get used to it, or should I get something that's more of a dedicated flipper, like a Benchmade 42 or a 51 or whatever it might be, a Kimara? I get the same question with the Mayhem. Some people, they ask, should I just get the Mayhem and learn how to flip with it? How different is it from a 42 or a Kimara? Can I just learn and adapt to it? My answer to that is no. It's a general no, because I'm sure there are some people out there that are just phenomenal with the Szabofly or the Mayhem. I've actually seen a user on YouTube. He's not so active anymore, by the name of Bali Bowler. He had a Mayhem and he flipped phenomenal with it. You know, you couldn't even tell that there was any kind of deficiency in the Mayhem as a flipper. And I've seen people do some pretty amazing stuff with a Szabofly as well. But I really think those are the exceptions to the rule. Generally speaking, when you're dealing with a Balisong that was made for more of an EDC or self-defense oriented role, or just a Balisong that was designed to look a certain way, and it has curved handles, offset pivots, a big blade, just an unbalanced overall Balisong, it's not going to flip well, and it's extremely hard to adapt to. I'm not the best flipper in the world, but I have been flipping for a while, and I struggle with the Mayhem a lot. I struggled with my Szabofly a lot, and this is after owning them for almost 2 years. Pretty much they ended up sitting there anytime I had a flipping session. I would never go to either of them for a competition, to experiment with new tricks. I get the comments sometimes, well, you should do tricks that are oriented around the knife, that are unique to the knife. Well, that's kind of true. There are certain things I suppose you could work around and kind of adapt to the knife, or make the knife adapt to you, that whole theory. But I will say, if you are trying to get better at flipping, and you're trying to advance your flipping and come up with new moves, you need a tool that's going to be optimal for that purpose. I think using a Mayhem or a Szabofly, or say like a Morpho that's kind of small, and trying to perfect and hone your technique on it, it'd be kind of like I don't know, someone who is trying to advance in the sport of golf, and instead of using a club made out of steel, they use one made out of plastic, you know, or that's oddly shaped. Or perhaps there's a you know, an athlete and he's trying to train for a marathon or some kind of a race, and instead of using running shoes, he uses sandals. It's just not ideal, you know. When you're trying to perform and really advance your skill set, you don't want anything that's going to inhibit that. A Balisong that's less than ideal for flipping is going to inhibit that. And I personally think, rather than spending the time to adapt to the knife or making the knife adapt to you, that effort could be better spent with a knife that is already going to flip well. And, you know, instead of wasting time trying to adapt or getting the knife to adapt, you could be using that effort to develop new tricks, you know, get better at certain tricks that you're struggling with, so on and so forth. So my advice is, for anyone who's looking into getting a Szabofly, maybe a Spiderfly, or any of these kind of obscure knives that really are not ideal for flipping, if you're looking to flip, don't get those knives. If your primary purpose is to flip, look for a 42, a Kimara, 51, any knife that you see predominant flippers use, the knives that you see in FATOC, use those knives. There's a reason why those knives are being used, and there's a reason why you never see a Mayhem, a Szabofly, or anything used in competition. And the reason is because they suck for flipping. That's pretty much the bottom line. So that's my advice. Now, I'm not saying don't get those knives. Obviously, I have a Mayhem, and that's just because I love the knife. If you like the knife, if you like the design, if that's just your thing, go for it. But if you want to enhance your flipping, I'd say you might want to also get something that's dedicated for flipping as well. So those are just my thoughts on it. I thought I'd just put it out there because I do see the question come up a lot. So I thought I'd kind of put in my 2 cents. So thanks for watching, and Hope you enjoyed my opinion on that matter, and if you have questions on it, let me know.